Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Guys, we have some brand new information on the new clan boss, so let's talk about it. Now, if you're a clan leader, you might have already noticed you will have a message like this in your inbox. And if you open this, it's gonna tell you this. Basically, all clan leaders get this message. And this is what's in that message, basically. So these are the skills of the basic form of the boss. As you can see, it's the Viper form. And this here, it says Unholy Metamorph transforms the new clan boss into its ultimate form. So it's kind of like a mythical clan boss, right? Which is already really, really scary and interesting. So the affinity says Magic, Void, Spirit, Force. So is it all, or I don't know what it is, or maybe it has like or parts of it that are, maybe, I don't know, the left hand is magic, the right hand is void, or the head is spirit, and the tail is force affinity or something, because I don't know, maybe they don't want to give it away, or it can be all of this, or like the boss has like separate parts and each of them has a different affinity. I don't know. That's just I'm just assuming here, but it's kind of like misleading here with the affinity. So I don't know. But let's start with the A1 attack, right? It's Putrid Fang. Attacks all enemies if there are any dead enemies, or if the initial attack kills at least one enemy, places an extra hit. So you definitely don't want don't want the boss to place an extra hit, right? This is already a really strong ability. Has a 50% chance of placing a Fear, True Fear, Freeze, Provoke, Sleep, Stun, or Petrification debuff on each enemy for one turn. So that's already really, really crazy. You can get frozen, provoked, slapped, stunned, get petrification, feared, true fear. So it's random which one of these you will get, I guess. And it has a 50% chance of placing one of these. Now, this attack already screams for debuff immunity or something that can cleanse it. So I feel like cleansers or champions that can cleanse will play a massive role in this clan boss. Okay, the A2, Stinger Cyclone. Attacks all enemies. This attack deals single target damage to each target individually, rather than AoE damage. Before attacking, places a Hex debuff and a 100% heal reduction debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Now this first part is already really interesting, because it says attacks all enemies, but it's not counted as an AoE attack. It's not AoE damage, it's single target damage, but it attacks all enemies. So damage mitigations like Duchess passive won't work here, or what's it called, the set, that mitigates AoE damage. Stalwart and other sets will not work here, so that's already pretty crazy, right? And then instantly activates all poison debuffs on all enemies 2 times. So it's wait, activates all poison debuffs on all enemies 2 times. Wow, that's a lot of damage. If you have poisons on your champions. Then transfers all debuffs from the new clan boss to all enemies under Hex or heal reduction debuffs placed by this skill. Increases the new clan boss's turn meter by 5% for each debuff transferred. Okay, so this again just screams for debuff immunity, right? You don't want any hex or heal reduction placed on your champions, basically. That's what I see here, because for every debuff that's going to be transferred, he's gonna get more turn meter. And if you have, I don't know how many champions we can use here. For Hydra we could use 6, maybe it's just 5, I don't know. But if he's like transferring debuffs, if it's 1 or 2 and it's and it's 5 enemies, it's gonna be like 25 to 50% turn meter, and he's just gonna go again. So that's definitely something you want to avoid. You also want to avoid to get poisons. So everything from these two skills just screams for debuff immunity. Let's take a look at the A3. Attacks all enemies again. Before attacking, steals all buffs from all enemies except continuous heal buffs. Okay, so he's stealing buffs too, which is interesting. So you don't want to bring a lot of buffs, right? You don't want to bring all the buffs in the game. Unless they're protected, I guess that works. Protected skills might be the way here. I think yeah, protection set will play a huge role in this boss fight actually. But then again, it's just it's not 100% chance to place protected buffs with the protection set, so it's again RNG. Then places 3 poison debuffs and 25% poison sensitivity debuff for 3 turns. Then increases the duration of all poison debuffs on all enemies by 1 turn and instantly activates any poison debuffs on all enemies. Wow, okay, so that's again, the boss is actually placing poisons himself, of course. I already thought that he's going to do that because he has the poison activation on the A2 as well. So he's kind of like activating poisons with these 2 skills, which is crazy, to be honest. Now, from what I see, it's continuous heal boss can't, like, he will not steal them. So you kind of want to counter heal those poisons. Maybe if you can't block them, you want to counter heal those with continuous heal buffs. Those will probably also play a major role to keep your team alive. Yeah, other than that, it's a lot of poison that he puts on your team. So maybe a Yumiko with Hex or Steltus will do a huge, will play a huge part here to deflect the poisons. So that might be interesting. I'm not sure. But at the same time, you don't, like, if you deflect the poisons on the boss, you don't want the boss to transfer the debuffs on your team. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. But it's interesting, right? So from what I see here, you want protected block debuffs, honestly. And I don't think there's any champ that can do that. I'm not sure. Maybe there is. But with with the protection set, there's definitely a few options. Transforms, so it's the first passive, Unholy Metamorph. Transforms the new clan boss into its ultimate form and removes all buffs and debuffs. Okay, so this is the basic form, right? And then there's an ultimate form, which we don't know yet. We don't know yet what the clan boss does in this other form. But once he switches the form, he removes all buffs and debuffs, which is kind of nice because he removes Not just the debuffs, also the buffs which he benefits from. So that's cool. The second passive, Deathly Contagion. Whenever an enemy is killed, places one necrosis stack on all other enemies. Necrosis stacks cannot be resisted or blocked. Necrosis stacks can only be removed by reviving dead allies. If multiple champions are revived, the number of necrosis stacks removed is equal to the number of champions revived. I'm not sure what necrosis does yet. If it's affecting any of his skills, or like, I don't know what it does, but it seems like you want to remove that as soon as possible, I guess, by reviving your champions that died. Then the next passive effect, revived enemies will have 25% less HP and turn meter. Okay, that's interesting. Whenever the new clan boss kills an enemy, removes any block active skills debuffs from itself. So you're actually able to put block active skill debuffs on him. Otherwise, that wouldn't be here. So you can actually block his poison activations with block active skills, but you want to make sure that it doesn't kill any of your champions. At the start of the new clan boss's turn, transfers all poison debuffs on the new clan boss to all enemies. All transferred debuffs last for 2 turns. Okay, so you don't want to have poisons. You don't want to deflect those poisons. Yeah, so you kind of like don't want to have any poisons on him, because he's just going to transfer them at each start of his turn to your champions. So no poisons. That was the passive effect, and then the active effect denies one enemy revival attempt. If multiple enemies are revived at once, will deny one random revival attempt. Okay, and that's a 5 turn cooldown. So every 5 turns he can deny one of your revival attempts, which is kind of annoying, but it's like a Lydia, right? Just that he doesn't get an instant turn. Or yeah, that's wow, okay. So you kind of want to I don't know, do you want like revive on death, I guess, and the reviver? Yeah, I feel like that's probably the way to go, right? Revive on death plus a reviver. You definitely want AoE revivers more than single target revivers, but yeah, that's a really annoying thing here in this passive. Whew, that's a lot of things you have to consider, and it's just the basic form. There's still another form, right? It's a mythical boss basically. Now the fourth passive, immune to petrification, stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block passive skills, fear, true fear, hunter's gaze. I don't know what I think hunter's gaze is not in the game yet, I guess. Berserk and enfeeble. What is hunter's gaze? Let me know in the comments below if you know what hunter's gaze is. But yeah, so as you can see, he's not immune to block active skills, so that's a good thing. Good to know. Also immune to HP exchange effects, of course, HP balancing, cooldown increasing, turn meter reduction. So decreased speed works. Yeah, decreased speed works, block active skill works. But other than that, in terms of control, that's it, I guess. Yeah, it might be helpful. Decrease speed and block active skills. incoming damage inflicted by skills that scale based on the new clan boss's max HP cannot exceed 100,000 on easy, 120,000 on normal, 140,000 on hard, 160,000 on brutal, 180,000 on nightmare, or 200,000 on ultra nightmare. So we actually have the same difficulties as for the Demon Lord, and the max HP damage you can do is capped. So that's pretty interesting. So you can't just come in and do millions for millions for millions damage. I really I really hope it's not Tron that is gonna shine the most here. But yeah, let's see. The damage taken from one tick of a 2.5% poison debuff cannot exceed 10,000 HP. The damage taken from one tick of a 5% poison debuff cannot exceed 20,000 HP. So poisons are already kind of nerfed. Honestly, I don't think you want to use poisons here because he has so much synergy with poisons. Yeah, I think you want to avoid that. The damage taken from one tick of a HP burn debuff cannot exceed 40,000 HP. Yeah, I mean, it's still a good damage source. I don't think you want to completely count that out, right? HP burn, still decent. Reflected damage and damage taken from the War Master or Giant Slayer masteries cannot exceed 100,000. It's still good to have 100,000 damage if you're able to do 100,000. I guess you are, otherwise it wouldn't be kept. The damage taken from smite debuffs cannot exceed 100,000 on easy, 150,000 on normal, 200,000 on hard, 250,000 on brutal, 300,000 on nightmare, or 350,000 on ultra nightmare. So I guess smite is also a really good damage source. So from what I see here, you wanna have HP burn, you wanna have War Master, Giant Slayer, and smite. Might be the way here. I don't think it's poisons. Max HP damage also seems kinda low, so I don't know, maybe it's ally attackers here that will shine the most. But yeah, overall, I think it's coming down to block debuffs, HP burn, smite, and protected buffs, right? Because he's gonna steal yours. So you definitely want protected buffs. Maybe multi max HP damage hitters will do enough, like a Nude, right? He will hit for like 600,000, I guess. Yeah, but single, like, I don't know. It depends, right? Maybe we have more than one target. Maybe there will be multiple targets to hit on this boss. I don't think it will be a single HP bar. I think it will have like multiple parts. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, overall, really interesting. I think it's gonna be challenging. But there is definitely some room to play with. Now, I also saw these letters here, which are kind of interesting. Now, these are kind of like little things they posted on social media, and it says observation day 1. Anomalous creature continues to grow. Efforts to understand its birth commencing. 2 beast drivers already slain. That's the first one. The second one, Seize the neck to protect from fangs, question mark. Pin the tail and crush the head. More testing required. So they're already talking about different parts of the boss, which already give me a feeling of there's going to be more than one target on this boss. Like you can probably attack the neck and the tail, and then the head is weakened or something like that. Yeah, I can see that actually happen. Also, a lot of people think it's going to be a chimera type of boss, so it's very likely that this boss is going to have more than one head, for example. Then the third letter here says, most beast drivers without magical protection slain with ease. Survivors die of rapid onset stormwind rot. Do they talk about the poisons here, maybe? I would think magical protection might be the block debuffs, something like that. Then the fourth one says, facing it alone pointless, surrounded, question mark, divert its attention. This is interesting, divert its attention. Now, of course, the question is this related to the mechanics? But I would think so. So does this mean maybe since the boss is immune to provoke, is it maybe taunt? I don't know. Give it too many targets, question mark? Not so sure. So what does it mean? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think, guys. What do you think about the skills? What do you think about these letters? Does it make sense to you? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is going to be interesting, guys. I feel like we are going to have a challenge here. I don't think this is going to be easy. I don't think this is going to be achievable for a lot of players. A lot of players will struggle here. That's what I'm thinking. Especially the fact that we don't know what the ultimate form is going to do. But this normal form already seems like a really annoying boss, a really challenging boss. You need, good protection gear. You need a lot of cleansing, a lot of continuous heal, block active skills, revive on death, I would assume, and things like that. And you need to provide, and you need to do damage as well. So it really comes down to how many champions we are actually able to use here, what affinity is the boss, and are there multiple targets we have to hit? So yeah, it's quite interesting, to be honest. Yeah, so let me know what you think, guys. With that being said, I hope you have a great week and see you in the next video.